Thank you for tuning in to my 2,823rd edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar. Traders, before we talk about what to do tomorrow, today, yesterday, or next week, you need to know that trading is risky, very risky. Put your stops in, put them in first. YouTubers, I've heard you. Several of you have asked me, Oscar, would you please do a video about how to put your stops in first? I will do that video for you, just not tonight. Tonight we got some other stuff to talk about. This week I'll get to that for you. Thank you for asking. So, this video is for a very special occasion. It's for trading on November 5th, 2024. And you know what I got to say about that first? I early voted last week. You know, this is a crazy thing. You see these, how many of you get these in multiples, 10, 20, 30, 50, 92 of them? How many get these in your mail? They show up in your mail, fill your mailbox, sometimes 2 or 3 sets. What do you do with them? Me, I don't know, for the last 40 years since I'm old enough to vote, I throw them in the garbage. I've never opened up one. Don't you? Who do you know that opens one of these except for the people that edited them? All right, so unless I'm crazy and I'm the only one that just throws these in the garbage, have you ever actually opened one? All these years I've been voting, I go to the booth and I gotta remember it all. This guy and that guy, and how am I gonna remember it? Check this out. I decided I'd open these. What'd you take those, David? I'd open one of these and kind of see what was in it. And guess what's in it? Very simply worded, you're going to vote for between 1 and 6 or 7 different things, right? That are going to be yes or no. They give you the pro and the con, and really good pro and con. It's not one-sided at all. They give you the pro and the con, and what they allow you to do is just check the box that you want to vote for, right? Then after that, it goes through everyone that you're going to vote for. You get to check that box. Now you get to read about each person, but not really about them individually, but certainly about all the laws. And when you're done, you get here. And check this out. This is the coolest thing that's ever happened to me in all the years I've been voting. I used to mock elect vote back in the Jimmy Carter days, right? So I've been voting all these years, going there and ripping my hair out. They make it this simple. If you've never opened up one of these, do yourself a favor. When you're done going through the rules that you're going to vote for, the law changes, the amendments, and the politicians, you check them all off right here, literally. Who you wanted to vote for, check, 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 check with pen. Do it over here for the laws that you're going to vote for. And then I walked into the voting booth and I went, oh yeah. I was done like that. I checked over my list. It was right. It was the easiest voting I've ever done in my life. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. How could it be that easy? So traders, here's what I got to say to you. Yes, we're gonna trade. I don't care if it's an election day. We'll talk about that in a moment. Get out and vote. I don't care who you vote for. Get out and vote. Don't waste your chance. Don't waste your vote. And you wanna make it simple? Grab that booklet I was telling you about and check everything. And when you walk in, you know exactly what your choices were, why you made them, and it's a very simple thing. Your vote matters. Get out and vote. Done with that, let's go to the board. Presidential election day, the OMNI says, sell the rallies if trading the NASDAQ. Crazy, right? But I'm going to do it. However, but, hit and run. Get in, find your profit objective, get out. Cancel your stops and sidestep. Why? If you don't hit and run, you got to remember, the election's finally over tomorrow, and at least we're going to start getting results, which are going to tell us which way it could be leaning. That could bottom the markets out. We want to be short first, watch it drop. Why else should you get out of the market's way if you sell it and it drops and you take profit? Fed day this week, it's Thursday, 11/7. The Fed's going to lower rates. That pushes markets up. We're going to bottom no matter what. I would say you could probably get short for the day tomorrow, election day. By the end or towards the end of the day, you don't want to be short anymore because guess what? It's over. It doesn't matter who wins. The market now knows who won, or looks like who won, and then they know where to put their money to work. Are we putting the money to oil, not to oil, stuff like that, right? Well, they'll know when the presidential election's finally over, that's going to bottom something, and Fed is going to lower rates this week on Thursday. It's usually Tuesday, Wednesday. This is a Thursday meeting, so it's after the election. Those reasons are very likely going to bottom the market, but that's a couple of days from now. Tonight, Monday night into Tuesday, sell the rallies in NASDAQ if trading the U.S. indices. Bitcoin is at a very interesting juncture, You're going to love this chart. I want to show you the charts now. I want to remind you to come to livewithoscar.com. Hang out with me in my live trading room. No credit cards are required. Show up there. We'll watch the election results. We'll see what happens with the markets. We'll see if OMNI's right about getting short first and getting out of the market's way. We'll see where that goes. What else would I like to remind you about? Yes, OMNI campers. I'm going to be there next week, kids. I'll see you soon. I'm showing up this weekend in London. I cannot wait. OMNI campers, I had spoken to you about doing a little homework for me. If you have not done that homework, you're going to hear from me tomorrow whether you have or not. You should be scared if you tell me no on the phone. So make sure when I call you tomorrow, you go, yes, Oscar, I've done that homework. If not, I'll tell you what to do if you don't remember, and we'll get that done. OmniCamp's going to be fantastic in the UK. I am so much looking forward to it. You have nothing to do but wait as long as you've done that little piece of homework I've asked you to do first. What else? I want to remind you to keep your emotions out of trading. How do you do that? Say this to yourselves over and over again, because believe me, I know it helps. Then after this, we're going to go look at some great charts. Are you with me? 1, 2, 3. Stop, sir. In. Emotions are out. Rock and roll traders, get out and vote. Your vote matters. Now let's go look at some charts. Traders NASDAQ daily bar chart. Couple of things on here, maybe 3 things of importance. Let's start here. First of all, look at the respect NASDAQ pays to this average. Gets under it, takes a bath. Gets right to it, holds it, stays above. Holds it again, stays above. Here, gets under it, stays under. Once it gets above, stays above. Stays above again. Stays above again. Stays above again. Finally, boom, we crack. Now we are under the average like we were here. Now take a look at this massive trend line. We are below that trend line. Below the average, below the trend line, presidential election, Fed meets this week. Wow, baby, wow. Hot potato style. If you do get short and it goes down, take your profits and get out and cancel your stops. Same chart, third thing on there. Remember I said there was 3? Look what else. You went through that trend line, right? The one that was here, I showed you. It's now blown up, so you don't see all the points. You went through the long trend line. You are below the average, and this looks like some kind of a flag to me. I don't know if it does to you, but that's something building right there, kids. So that tells me that very possibly we're going to get a chance to get a short trade out of this tomorrow. Hot potato, hit and run style. Cancel stops once we're out, and then we'll see what happens after the election. Then you've got Bitcoin. Traders, in a live webinar 4 or 5 days ago, I said Bitcoin is here. It finally got above, and just to show you the whole chart, if you remember, we've been using this chart for a long time. Bitcoin gets into this crazy thing where it stops right there, holds here, stops there, holds here, stops there, always at this line, right? Comes down, goes down for a half a day, settles back in, so it holds there, holds here, and it had a lot of trouble here, trouble. So what I said in my live webinar about 5 days ago is we're here right now. What should happen next is we should pull back to about this. If we hold that, the blast off can begin. If we get under it, well, maybe it wants to go back down to here, but we're not going to think that yet. And so all I mentioned was that we're up here, expect an elevator ride back down to test that support. Here's where we were on the day of my live webinar, and this is what happened. I mean, are you kidding me? Is that not perfect? Now, where are we? We are right here, exactly at that spot, for the day of a presidential election and 2 days before a Fed meeting where they're going to lower rates. That is a very interesting juncture, kids. Take a look at Bitcoin for yourselves. If it holds, away we go. If it gets under, the next thing we'll deal with is the average. Traders, I hope that helps. Make sure you get out and vote. Come on down to livewithoscar.com. And for these videos, make sure you subscribe to them, like and share them all over the internet. It'll help me help others. Thank you for tuning in. Get out there and vote, traders.